You know, usually when you picture a professional live TV broadcast, you probably picture a NASA launch.
Oh, definitely. A dark room, tons of people running around.
Right, exactly. Miles of tangled cables, a massive wall of glowing buttons. But today we're looking at a piece of hardware trying to cram that entire control room into, well, a single bedroom. It's the PTZOptics PT12X Studio camera.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating piece of gear.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We're doing a custom deep dive into a pretty highly technical spec sheet from an HDTVSupply product page. Our mission for you today is translating all these raw specs into real-world value.
Because we really want you to understand exactly why this device is such a modern content creation powerhouse.
Right. And to see why it stands out, we have to look past the buzzwords. Like before we even talk about broadcasting, we have to look at how it actually sees the room.
Which is where the optics come in.
Exactly. The spec sheet lists a 12.8-inch CMOS sensor, 12x optical zoom, and 16x digital zoom. And speaking of zoom, I always like to think of optical zoom as like physically walking closer to the subject, whereas digital zoom is really just cropping a photo on your phone and, well, losing a ton of quality.
That's exactly it. What's fascinating here is how it handles the actual video output.
Yeah, it shoots 1080p at 60 frames per second. But I have to push back here for a second. I mean, we live in a 4K world, right?
We do, yeah.
So why is a high-end camera in this market still touting 1080p?
It sounds totally counterintuitive, I know. But for professional live streaming, 1080p at 60 frames per second remains the absolute sweet spot.
Wait, really? Not 4K?
Not for live, no.
Yeah.
I mean, 4K sounds great on a retail box, but pushing that many pixels live can completely cripple your network bandwidth.
Oh, right, because of all the data.
Exactly. It leads to dropped frames and stuttering. You want incredibly smooth broadcast quality motion without, choking the system.
So bandwidth management is actually the priority over sheer pixel count.
Yes, 100%. And regarding that 12.8-inch CMOS sensor, that's large enough to pull in excellent light for a studio setting.
Which keeps the image crisp without needing those massive, prohibitively expensive lenses.
Right.
That makes total sense. And that bandwidth management is exactly why this camera's wiring setup caught my eye. Having a clear image doesn't matter if getting it to your computer takes a messy web of cables.
Which brings us to its true superpower, the connectivity.
Right. Because we aren't just talking about traditional video cables anymore. The specs list simultaneous outputs, so like SDI for legacy broadcast switchers, plus native NDI HX3 and PoE.
That NDI HX3 is the real game changer here.
Yeah, I see that alphabet soup on spec sheets all the time now. Is it basically just a universal translator that lets high-quality video travel over standard office internet cables?
That's a really great way to put it. Think of NDI less like a video cable and more like a highly efficient digital postal service.
Oh.
It packages your video, your audio, and even camera control data into a single parcel and ships it right over your standard office network.
Wow.
And the vital word on this spec sheet is native. The NDI protocol is built right into the hardware.
So you aren't forced to pay, like, hidden software licensing fees just to access your own camera over the network?
Precisely. And when you combine that digital postal service with PoE, which is power over Ethernet.
The magic happens, right? Because a single standard Ethernet cable is now handling the power supply, the robotic camera movements, and the high-quality video output all at once.
It completely eliminates the need for separate power bricks and complex video routers. Just one cable.
Okay, so the hardware captures a clean image without hogging bandwidth, and the wiring is basically magically simple. But how does one solo creator actually manage it during a live show?
That's where the software ecosystem comes in.
Right, there's a Hive Studio link included in the specs. What is that actually doing for the user?
So Hive Studio is a web-based management platform, and it's really the crucial piece of the puzzle here. Instead of a massive hardware switcher with 100 buttons, Hive puts the joystick and controls right in a web browser.
Oh, wow. So a creator can run a multi-camera shoot by just tapping their iPad screen.
Yep, right. While simultaneously hosting their own show, it turns the hardware into a full studio in a box.
Which really highlights the risk side of this, right? I mean, when you're a solo creator, if the tech fails, the show literally stops. You don't have an IT department down the hall to fix it for you.
Which is why the ecosystem matters just as much as the specs. This unit is currently on sale for $949, down from $1,049.
Nice.
And when you're dealing with sub-$1,000 professional gear, having reliable human support is absolutely critical.
Yeah, reading the reviews, users consistently point out that HDTVSupply staff like Rachel and Mike, actually walk them through this network setup process.
Exactly. You're buying into an ecosystem where you aren't left stranded if your internet acts up.
Right. So to pull this all together for you, the PTZOptics PT12X is balancing smart 1080p optics that respect your bandwidth.
Yeah.
It's utilizing native NDI and a single Ethernet cable to basically kill the cable monster.
Good riddance.
Yeah, and pairing it all with intuitive Hive Studio control to really revolutionize solo broadcasting.
It shifts the focus. You spend your energy on the content you're making, not troubleshooting the technology you're using to make it.
Which leaves you with this thought. If broadcast quality video and remote camera control can now be piped through a single Ethernet cable.
And managed on a web browser by just one person.
Exactly. What does the future hold for those traditional million-dollar TV control rooms we talked about at the start?
It's a crazy thought.
Could tomorrow's major television networks literally be run from a laptop in a coffee shop?